And when you say locked up, are we talking jail, prison?
Yeah, juvenile prison. I was in Louisiana.
And for how long?
13 months.
And what was the charge you were convicted for that led to this? Wait. Was this fighting the case or that was the actual sentence?
Nah, I got sentenced really like 2 months, 2 months in, because it was how the situation played out. You know, wrong place, wrong time would be the case.
Okay. So just for clarification, you got sentenced 2 months in of that 13 months?
Yeah, like my second month, like I really only had like four court dates, and they
So,
was all like really quick. And by that last court date, kind of already had got a drift for what they was gonna do. You know?
so they hold you for 2 months, you're fighting it, and then the sentence is the remainder 11 months?
Yeah, for sure. Cause
And
I got
what,
locked up in October, I think October 5th, and I probably got convicted like the end of January, right after my mama's birthday.
and was it a plea deal?
Yeah,
And what was the charge you ended up pleading to that led to that sentence?
some bullshit, like a little minor shit.
And
Really,
what,
just it was on some shit like I just was around, you know, young nigga around the wrong shit. It happened to play out like that, so I made it through that shit though.
what age were you at the time when it started?
15. I was 15. I think I had just around the time I was like just had turned 15 earlier in the year.
Now, there's people that have heard that phrase, juvenile prison, but doesn't know exactly what that entails or what that means. Are you able to shed some light on the description of what you experienced?
Yeah, cause a juvenile is really just like a detention center. It's like a holding, you know, it's a holding center. But where I was at in New Orleans, it was a juvenile prison. You couldn't go there until you was already convicted. Most of the time, it was for, of course, they couldn't charge minors as adults, so they'll just get him these, you know, it's a juvenile, but it's ran treated like a real prison. Like, you know, they treat you like a real inmate.
And you were 15 at the time. It would just be ages up to 18 in there, or
Yeah.
ages up to 17, and then 18 would go to adult
They
prison?
had niggas
I
in
mean,
there
jail,
like
adult jail?
it was some people that'd be like they had to have a juvenile case. They'd be 20 or some years old, but they'd still be fighting a juvenile case because juvenile life is really until you 21. So anything under 21, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a possibility you could still land up in there, but niggas that be fighting old cases. That'd be the only way a nigga older than 18 would be in there. Cause
And what was,
they don't go off age. They go off charges.
and what was the youngest you seen in there,
Uh,
age-wise?
Youngest nigga I seen in there was probably still in the car or something. Like they had me at two different. Cause I went to a group home too, and that was kind of like that was non-secure, so it wasn't sales. But where I was at, it probably was niggas young as 12, 11 years old in that bitch, shooting guns, stealing cars.
So out of the, okay, so let me back up. I'm moving too fast. Break that down, the two different, of the 11 months you had left of the sentence, or the 11 months you were sentenced, what portion was in one part and then the other was in the group home?
The whole really like 8 months was in that in the juvenile. Like once I got convicted and got all the time and shit, like I said, you had to have some time before you can even have a bed in there. Or, you know, you already got to be convicted of your charges. So, like probably 8 months, 7.5 months, and then like the no, I'm lying, I'm lying. It was like eight. It was about 8.5 months, and the rest of the time I was in Tallulah, Christian Acres, for like the rest of the other 3, 4 months.
And did you mention what the name of the juvenile was called?
Florida Parish.
So what ages mostly did you see in there? I mean, it was a wide variety from
Yeah,
12 to
for
21,
sure.
but what was mostly in there at that
Shit.
time?
You know, in the streets, ain't no age limit to none of this shit, so it wasn't no, you couldn't pinpoint no ages on nobody, cause like for me, for instance, nobody didn't know I was 15 unless I told them. So niggas didn't look their age or some niggas didn't act their age. Cause I definitely didn't act like a young nigga or a little nigga, you know, how I carry myself. So it was a variety of ages. And then I didn't know nobody too, so I wasn't trying to dive in and see what was going on with a nigga. I'm from all the way from Indiana, so I just stayed in my lane.
So what was it like in both conditions?
Shit. It was like shit, jail. Wherever type of nigga you is on the streets, that's the same nigga you gonna be in jail. So if you known for fronting your move and talking a lot and just not being about action, you gonna be the same nigga in jail. But if you known for just standing on business and, you know, only standing on principles and doing certain shit because you got to and it's about your respect, then that's how they gonna treat you in jail. You gonna have bumps. That's just a part of the streets. But, you know, my time went as rough as a lot of them niggas' time.
Now, circumstances could be different for everybody, but let's say somebody's watching this and they're about to head to juvenile prison themselves. Anything you would say to them?
Shit, just stay in your own lane. Don't be in a rush to make no friends. Don't be in a rush to fuck with niggas. Just, you know, stand on your own 10. Niggas gonna try you. Niggas gonna play with you, especially if you a player and they know you ain't really, you know, a troublemaking ass nigga. They gonna test you, but you can just handle it in your own way and go on about your day. Shit, you gonna do your time.
You were the only one from Indianapolis.
I was the only one that wasn't from Louisiana. That was rare. You know what I'm saying about us? It was just I was out of bounds. So I took on that whole situation at 15, 16, like myself. My mama wasn't there, daddy wasn't there, brothers wasn't there. I'm around a whole bunch of niggas that I never met in my life. COs too, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how they gonna treat me because shit, I ain't from here.
What do you think your key to survival of all that was?
Shit, reading books. Really just staying in my head, like not thinking that I was in jail, but just always, you know what I'm saying? And I always was separated. Like, you know, I had my bumps in there when I first got there, scuffled a little bit, but most of the time niggas knew that I was just, you know, I'm gonna do my bid. I ain't in no nigga way. If a nigga play, I'm gonna defend myself and stand on business. But other than that, I'm just reading books, educating myself.
No music at that time.
We had music, but it was bullshit. I used to listen to music because I love music so much. And, you know, I just forced myself to listen to some shit. I would listen to Katy and all type of shit.
But weren't creating music in any sort of manner.
For sure. 20, 30 notebooks. Every time the counselor gave me a chance to get another notebook, because you can only have one notebook and one pencil in your cell. And she only come like twice a month. So it was like I'm filling them bitches up the first 2 days, and like I gotta wait a whole month to get me a new notebook.
Did you ever end up recording any of those lyrics after you were released?
I don't think so. I think I probably recorded a remix of a song, but I ain't never drop it or nothing. But nah, only thing I took home from jail was like my growth and the flow and how different I sounded from when I went in. That's what I came home with.
Do you still have those notebooks somewhere today?
Probably a few of them for sure. But I'm a superstitious type of nigga, so I don't even want to look at nothing or had nothing to do when they got something to do with jail. I leave all that shit in the back of my head. I don't even want to look at that shit.
Where does the superstitionness, if that's a word, come from?
My mama and grandma, don't split the pole. You see a black cat, put a cross on your back, you know, all that type of shit. I've been around that shit my whole life, so I just run with it. I believe in it too, though.